What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Next Gen Career Mode. This is episode number 10, and we start today's episode off with a game against Stuttgart here, and as Jeff Stelling will remind you at the start.
Hello and a very Merry Christmas to all of you at home. It may be cold outside, but we're hoping you're keeping warm, maybe with a hot cocoa in your hand, your slippers on. We have a cracker of a game lined up for you. Today it's Hertha Berlin against Stuttgart.
It is indeed Christmas Day here in the game, which means that we're playing this game on the 25th of December against Stuttgart in the German Cup. Now, of course, we beat Bayern Munich in the previous round. We beat Bayern Munich, an incredible game, really. We won it on penalties, of course, after a 2-2 draw. We scored an injury time equaliser and took them to penalties and won it there, despite fielding a weakened side. So I was feeling very, very confident, to be honest. And the first chance of the game would actually fall to us. It was in the 15th minute. A cross was played into the centre, but Yashil, who went for the header, could only put the ball wide of the post. But there would be another chance here in the 24th minute, this time to the visitors, however, as they put the ball into the box. But unfortunately for them, the header goes wide of Kraft's post, and it's still 0-0 as things stand. However, a few minutes after that, here in the 29th minute, we win a corner, and it's crossed into the box by Yashil into the centre. It's Lasogga who wins the header, and he finds the bottom corner. So Lasogga breaks the deadlock here in the 29th minute. Very good header. He's so strong in the air, as you'd expect, obviously. Thought the defender on the line probably could have cleared it, to be honest, but he didn't. And that's good news for us because we go 1-0 up in this game. And I'd love a good cup run here with Hertha Berlin. So great start here, 1-0. However, in the 31st minute, we would unfortunately get an injury here as Alagui went in for a challenge and unfortunately stayed down. He ended up actually walking off the pitch, but thankfully for us, he did come back on eventually. It was a proper knock, and he will get an injury, as you'll see after the game. But thankfully, he was able to complete the 90 minutes, if that makes sense. But another chance would fall here in the 39th minute as Stuttgart played the ball down the left-hand side, and Maxime, who was having a great game here for Stuttgart, goes down the left-hand side, swings in across. And unfortunately, I kind of just got a little bit screwed over by EA at this moment. It really, really, really frustrating. So I haven't had one of those moments in quite a long time where the game kind of just gives you the middle finger, really, and says, nope, I'm going to make things a lot more difficult for you. Because unfortunately, as Maxime crosses the ball in here, Kraft catches the ball quite simply, and then the Stuttgart attacker dives into it. He basically headbutts my goalkeeper, sends him into his own goal. He was standing up, Kraft. He didn't go down, but he was still over the line, and he carried the ball over the line as well. And the referee and the linesman called it correctly, as you'll see on the replay I quickly showed afterwards, the sort of custom-made replay. He was indeed standing over the line with the ball, which is why the goal was given. Should have been credited to Maxime. Should have been an own goal from Kraft, but even so, it was a goal, and it was really, really frustrating. So there was nothing I could have done about it. Just one of those moments where you don't get the luck at all. But it's 1-1 here, and the visitors are back on level terms in controversial and frustrating circumstances, and they almost took the lead in stoppage time in the first half. But thankfully, Kraft, who wasn't strong enough to keep the first goal out, did make a great stop there, and it was still 1-1. Not much would happen in the second half until the 81st minute, when we would score the third goal of the game, and our second, as Yashil has played through here. The first shot is saved by the goalkeeper, but it falls back to the man on loan from Liverpool, and he puts it into the empty net to make it 2-1. So great to get ourselves back in front. We really did deserve it, to be honest, after some real bad luck in the first half. And in the 85th minute here, Schultz goes down the left-hand side, beats his man relatively luckily, crosses the ball in towards Lasogga. His header is well saved by the goalkeeper, then it's cleared off the line by the goalkeeper, diving backwards, and it's still 2-1. And to be honest, if anyone was going to score that fourth goal, it was going to be us. So despite Stuttgart doing everything they could to hold on and try and force themselves into extra time, they couldn't really get the ball past the halfway line. And eventually, after this cross was played in by Mukhtar, it's Yashil who gets the head out, puts it past the goalkeeper, and makes it 3-1. So I have to say, as we go through to the next round of the German Cup, we're into the quarterfinals, I have to say I've been very happy with that signing of Yashil. You know, we've made a few loan signings and free agent signings here with Hertha Berlin because we don't have the money, we don't have the resources, but I've been very happy with Yashil because he's been a striker who hasn't got into the side that much, but whenever he does, he always scores, whether it be coming off the bench or starting the games in midweek or possibly in a cup like here. He always does seem to get the goals. He's a very clinical finisher, and of course we've got a 1.5 million future fee already arranged with Brendan Rodgers and Liverpool. So at the end of the season, if we've got the money to spend, I'm definitely going to take Liverpool up on that offer because he's been really, really good. And even if he is a backup striker and his rating is still relatively low for a Bundesliga side, he's still a striker I'd love to have in the side and keep him here. And if we do end up selling Ramos or possibly, well, hopefully not, Lasogga next year, then maybe your shield could just take over. But anyways, we enter January. The transfer window is now open. You also saw that Allegri did indeed get an injury and will be out for 3 weeks. But of course, as we do enter January, the transfer window is open. And here is a look at the squad report. A reminder, the squad report is shown at the start of every single calendar month, as is supposed to be the league table. However, you know, stupidly from me, I forgot to show it this month, so apologies for that. I completely forgot about it. But the squad report, at least, is definitely shown at the start of every single calendar month, so you can see how good the players are. And of course, as we're now in a transfer window, we can now think about possibly shifting one or two of them on and looking at some targets. But of course, you can see in the top left of the screen, we don't have really any money to spend. We've got 500 grand in the transfers and only 7 on the wage budget, so we haven't really got much money to spend, and that's why we are going to be looking at some free agents and some loan players once again. Maybe we'll look to sell a player or two, but for the time being, we'll stick to the free agent and loan market scheme because that's served us quite well so far. And we go into this right back here, this Turkish right back. He looks okay. I'd imagine he's one of those players that sort of just sits in the resis and doesn't really do much, but whenever he does play, he's okay. He's got some good physical stats, 4-star skills, very nice. Looks like he can play in right back and right mid as well, so he could be alright. And I was also looking at possibly signing a better right back as well, not just a free agent, but also a better right back. I found a few good German right backs. Christian Trash here of Wolfsburg, Beck of Hoffenheim, I think it was. A couple of decent right backs. We were actually looking at these players in the summer, if you remember. We didn't really have the money, and we don't have the money now either, but I've included Pekarik in some of the deals, and maybe these clubs will want our Slovakian right back in exchange for one of theirs, but we'll have to wait and see. Sebastian Young as well of Frankfurt is another player I would like to get. These are some relatively decent right backs. I wouldn't imagine they'd be amazing, but they could sort of do the job, you know what I mean, because at the moment we're playing a holding midfielder in the right back slot just because we can. I don't really like Pekarik, so with that in mind, I like a proper good right back. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, bid comes in for Ben Hatira here from Bologna. They want him for £3.5 million, and he's valued at £4 million. He's a 25-year-old, 76 overall, very decent left midfielder, to be honest. As a bid comes in for Mukhtar here from Salzburg for a season-long loan, we say yes because we'd like to get our 18-year-old some game time, and we also reject a bid from Dortmund for Lasogga. A decent bid for Ben Hatira, and as you'll see during this January transfer window, there are a lot of bids coming in for our left midfielder, so he's clearly a player in hot demand. Not a real surprise because he is leading the league in terms of assists, and he has been quite good for us. He's been in good form, as you can see there. His morale is very happy, so he's clearly enjoying his time with Berlin at the moment. But he's got a 5-star weak foot and 4-star skills, so he's actually quite a decent player. I have enjoyed using him, but I have to say, if we can get a few £1 million for him, I think we could afford to lose him, you know, because possibly we could look at signing a better winger than Ben Hatira anyway, and possibly look to get some more money invested in other areas of the squad. So it may actually be good to sell him, even though he's been a very good player for us this year. So that's the thinking behind these counter offers. Republic of Ireland then coming for us and say, will you manage our nation? We say no because we're not interested. And also you can see here that Bologna aren't going to go back in for Ben Hatira because the counter offer we asked for was too much apparently. And we got another transfer offer for Ben Hatira. It was Lille for £5 million. That's £1 million higher than his valuation. However, we asked for 2.5 million, or was it 1.5? Yeah, 1.5 million higher than his valuation. We'll wait and see what Lille say. We also asked Stuttgart for the exact same fee. 500 grand higher than the other one. Give us £7 million, you can take him, and we'll wait and see what happens there. But we also see as well that the right back free agent we went in for, just for a resi really, if we are going to sell Pekarik, we'll be out of actual first choice right backs. We won't have a single right back in the squad, proper right back anyway, just for cover. We'll wait and see what he says on a £3 a week deal. And also Stuttgart said they're not going to go higher than £6 million for Ben Hatira, but Lille said they'll match the £6.5 million deal. So with that in mind, I said to Stuttgart, I appreciate the fact you'll give us £6 million, but if Lille are going to match 6.5, you better do the same. So we asked Stuttgart for 6.5, and we'll wait and see what they say. But it looks like he's probably going to go to Lille, and because of that, we're going to look at signing some players in replacement. The first one is Timo Werner here of Stuttgart, and we wait and see if we can get this guy. He's only 17 years old, but I know this guy's going to have good potential. I know that for sure. So we'll wait and see what they say as we put in a cheeky little bid there. And we also see that we had a couple of transfer offers here. Another one for Ben Hatira Benatia, like I said, he's in hot demand at the moment. We asked Athletic Bilbao for £6.5 million, just like we asked Lille and Stuttgart for, and also we had a bid for Temsa, that random free agent Egyptian we signed in the summer. Bologna wanted for 475 grand. I said give us 550 and you can take him. We're waiting to see what happens there, and that's hilarious because, you know, this is exactly why I like signing free agents, because in the next window you can sell them for actual money. You know, it's a bit of an easy way to get a few grand, a good method for lower league clubs, I'd presume. But anyway, after that we stalled the right back who said he'd accept the contract. We did actually go ahead and accept it in the end, and also I asked the board for some more money. I told them we'd reached the quarterfinals of the German Cup because we've already done that already, so that's an easy way of convincing the board. And I also told them we'd qualify for the Europa League if you give us £5 million. Unfortunately, they said no. That's a real shame. But Ben Hattira has gone to Lille, which means that in the next episode we will have to look at getting a replacement in ASAP, because he is a very decent player. We are going to miss him because he has been in good form. He's gone to Lille, and the board have of course turned down our financial request. And the last thing you'll see is us sign that free agent right back just for a little bit of cover. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave likes, so much appreciated. It really does help my channel out, and it only takes a second to click that like button. And I'll see you for the next episode of my Next Gen Career Mode very soon.